Enfants du Congo meurent.
The children of Congo have been dying for years.
Plusieurs autres conflits, tels au Soudan.
Several other conflicts, such as in Sudan, exist on the continent.
Nous aurions aimé voir l'Union africaine générer.
We would have liked to see the African Union generate the strength and all the strategies necessary to support its states so that they can find peace.
Nous ne viendrons même pas parler de nous ici au Sahel.
We will not even talk about us here in the Sahel.
Près de 10 ans.
For nearly 10 years, the Sahel has been the scene of international terrorism.
Mais nous ne voyons aucun soutien.
But we see no support from these organizations to find a solution to this problem.
Pire, il y a quelques jours de cela, un pays
Worse, a few days ago, a foreign country in Africa openly announced that it had supported and participated
soutenu et participé à une attaque lâche
in a cowardly, terrorist, and barbaric attack against the forces of our confederation.
L'Union africaine n'a pipé aucun mot pour condamner.
The African Union did not say a word to condemn this interference. The African Union did not say a word to condemn this interference of a foreign state in Africa in the internal affairs of our states. I would like them to hear this shout and get out of their silence and take action so that the youth can believe in the African Union.
We are very happy to be among you. We have also taken the time to move along the axis, to see the situation in person. This is the place for me to congratulate you. We sincerely appreciate the work that is being done here and especially aim to encourage you greatly. You might think that during a specific month you hold the upper hand over the enemy, but it is essential to remain highly focused at all times. Because as soon as you let your guard down, it is the opportune moment for them to take advantage. Do we understand each other? There is no possibility for us to think that there is a lull and to give up. And everyone must be attentive. One thing is certain, you will overcome. This enemy can do nothing against you. Much courage. And again, congratulations for everything that is being done. We will remain attentive. Everything that can be done to improve your conditions, we will continue to do. May God bless you. May God preserve you in all your missions. May God watch over you. Homeland or death, we love it. Thank you very much.
Where was this force when thousands of Malians of Burkina Faso died under the bullets of terrorists? In this very stain, angry and fierce speech delivered by Captain Ibrahim Traore of Burkina Faso, he fearlessly denounced ECOWAS for their actions against Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger. This is one of the most inspirational and uplifting speeches ever made by this courageous leader. Pay attention and listen to this speech all through and remain confident. The African narrative is finally changing. Here, we will explain why we left the ECOWAS and where we are going. Remember that it was in 1975 that it was created, and it was created for the majority of state leaders, putschists, as they like to say. It was the military who took the power and took the responsibility to create ECOWAS so that there is a real economic growth of the people inside this space. Later, the so-called Democrats invited themselves to the heads of our states. They completely emptied the community of its foundation. When on July 26th, Niger decided to take its destiny into their own hands, we were surprised to see ECOWAS appear after some days with a force awaiting. Where was this force when thousands and thousands of Nigerians were killed by terrorists? Where was this force when thousands of Malians of Burkina Faso died under the bullets of terrorists? They said that by force, they were going to evict the valiant sons of Niger who took the destiny into their own hands. Do you think that these are women who are in Niger? There are fighters there. The Nigerian army are warriors. They have been fighting for years. It is not a parade army or a peacekeeping army. And the armies of the ECOWAS have decided to unite. We are waiting for this force.
Les députés n'ont plus de salaire aujourd'hui. Ils n'ont que des indemnités de session. Les salaires des ministres ont été diminués au maximum et le peuple contribue. Vous ne pouvez pas lutter et vouloir que les dirigeants soient dans un luxe insultant. Les peuples doivent se réveiller et exiger cela de leurs dirigeants. Et pour terminer, je lance donc un appel à tout le peuple de l'AES, à travers vous, pour qu'ils restent unis et solidaires. Toute souffrance a une démocrate.
Whether you're a Democrat or not, how can you impose democracy by killing millions of people?
C'est de la dictature, ça, ce n'est pas de la démocratie.
It's a dictatorship, not democracy. You can't impose it.
Ceux-là qui se disent démocrates, mais regardez,
Those who call themselves Democrats have seen scenes where people were prevented from joining assemblies. We've seen scenes where forces landed in assemblies to force deputies to take texts. We've seen more terrible scenes where people kill their demonstrators. But they call themselves Democrats, and we're called Persians. If that's democracy, I repeat, we don't want this democracy. And when you see incompetence, they don't seek to know what the real meaning of the word democracy is. They cling to the definition given to them by imperialism and start talking about democracy without really knowing the basics. That's incompetence. You have to know, look at the world to redefine democracy as we want it in Africa. Incompetence hides behind freedom. Remember, there is no individual freedom. It's a fact.
We are going to fight. That is certain. We may suffer, but we need a bit of patience, that's all. Because the situation has significantly deteriorated so much over several years. We must go with great force so that it cannot come back later. When we resolve it, it's once and for all, permanent. We are gathering everything necessary and essential needed to open the different and various routes that connect the states of the AES. And they are fighting to prevent these routes from opening. Because AES is a nightmare for them, it must not happen. We must not integrate in any way at all. However, we will ultimately defeat them in the end. In any case, you have waited.
I am not a politician. I'm not joking, I am a soldier. And I prefer to tell you the truth. Everyone is free to take or leave. Everyone drives around in their car. Everyone is living well. We eat in the morning, we eat for lunch, we eat at night. We do what we want to do. We are free to talk about saying what we want. It's democracy, it's the right, that's all. That's all we know about in Ouagadougou. But go ahead and see the children who have skin on their bones. Go see those who are starving. Go see those women who can no longer breastfeed because they have nothing left in their breasts. Go see them. Let's not pretend. If our journalists do not have the courage to go to the field and bring you these images, it's because we want to wash the image of Burkina. I tell you that it is false. It exists. When I tell you about the people who eat the grass, whoever wants to challenge, I'll bring him tomorrow. Go see, it continues. It has not even stopped. Because we were able to supply some villages, but others not yet. We are still on the way. No civilian can even support with trucks so that we can be in solidarity with this population. What integrity is this? What is integrity, Burkina Faso? What is it? This lack of support has deeply unsettled and revolted us. Until we address the core issues plaguing this country, we will always be revolted. For the moment, we've managed to secure some trucks in the army and have been using our own means to transport supplies. However, this hasn't really added much support for the starving populations. And even in this, there's been a distinct lack of empathy. Citizens knew about the situation, but they've remained on the sidelines. It is to say that solidarity has disappeared in Burkina. Have pity for the people. Have pity for the youth. Have pity for the children. What did these villagers do? So that when the sun sets, they find themselves in the caves under the trees. They leave the village, and in the morning they show up. They look to see if everything is okay before coming back. They sleep in the bush. They can't sleep at home. We don't tell you these truths. This is the reality of Burkina. We only see our cities. We are responsible for what happens to us, and we will be fully responsible for what follows. Either it's good or it's bad. It will depend on our behavior in the future. Everyone has to give their best. I think we can do it. I am optimistic. I hope we will get there.
Les questions que mes générations se posent sont les suivantes, si je peux me résumer. C'est de ne pas comprendre comment l'Afrique, avec tant de richesses sur notre sol, avec une nature généreuse, de l'eau, du soleil en abondance, l'Afrique est aujourd'hui le continent le plus pauvre. L'Afrique est un continent affamé. Et comment se fait-il que les chefs d'État traversent donc le monde à mendier? Voici des questions que nous nous posons et que nous n'avons pas de réponse jusque-là. Nous avons l'occasion de tisser de nouvelles relations. Et j'espère que ces relations puissent être les meilleures pour donner un meilleur avenir à nos peuples. Pour ce qui concerne le Burkina Faso, aujourd'hui nous sommes confrontés depuis plus de 8 ans à la forme de manifestation la plus barbare, la plus violente du néocolonialisme, de l'impérialisme. L'esclavage qu'on tend en...
If today Ghana has decided to place President John Mahama at the head of the country, it's a strong message. And I hope that you Burkinabés living in Ghana, you can support President John Mahama. The task will be difficult. There are certainly challenges ahead in terms of security. On the economic side, I hope that you can support Ghana's defense and security forces as much as you can, both in terms of intelligence and on the economic side, as you are able to. Support them as if you were supporting the Burkinabe armed forces. I'm talking to you about something. The challenges can be very numerous. Under no circumstances should you lose hope. You need to support them and help them on all fronts. A nation does not survive unless it has a strong army. That's why I reiterate to you again to support Ghana's defense and security forces. They alone will be able to help the country get back on its feet economically and thrive. Next, I urge you to love the people here, to live in perfect symbiosis, in perfect harmony, just as you are already doing very well. As I said, the people are already integrated. The problem lies with the leaders. Keep going in that direction. Support your brothers in Ghana. Support them as much as you can. And above all, show that integrity. Land of upright men, you must be role models. Burkina Faso should not create a problem. Burkina Faso should be a solution. You have always managed to thrive through all your leaders present here. And I hope that this momentum continues and that you can support the new president in his task. How huge it is to revive the country's economy and especially to defend this country.
You all need to be strong. And being strong is not just about the logistical plan, but also the psychological plan. There is this family stability that every fighter needs when they are on the battlefield. We have all been in the field. We have encountered various situations where frequently, when you are in the field, your mind is often back at home. Because you are unable to solve a number of problems, perhaps of a financial nature. Generally, that's what it boils down to, and it disturbs the combatant. At this moment, we have a large number of individuals who are wounded. We also came to the realization that this problem has not been dealt with
in the manner that it should have.
We are very happy to be among you. We have also taken the time to move along the axis. To see the situation in person, this is the place for me to congratulate you. We sincerely appreciate the work that is being done here and especially aim to encourage you greatly. You might think that during a specific month you hold the upper hand over the enemy, but it is essential to remain highly focused at all times. Because as soon as you let your guard down, it is the opportune moment for them to take advantage. Do we understand each other? There is no possibility for us to think that there is a lull and to give up. And everyone must be attentive. One thing is certain, you will overcome. This enemy can do nothing against you. Much courage. And again, congratulations for everything that is being done. We will remain attentive. Everything that can be done to improve your conditions, we will continue to do. May God bless you. May God preserve you in all your missions. May God watch over you. Homeland or death, we love it. Thank you very much.